I remember the first time playing Grand Theft Auto 3, seeing Cloud and his accomplice in their bright orange jumpsuits. The adrenaline that ran through my body was like nothing I've ever experienced. I began pressing the buttons and controlling Claude. It was amazing. I had the same feeling when I played the other GTA games. I remember the raunchy opening cutscene of Vice City and getting into the car and hearing Billie Jean play on the radio, while listening to my mom's footsteps upstairs, hoping she won't come downstairs and catch me playing Vice City. I had the same feeling for every GTA game that came out after that. I'm basically saying that GTA was always my favorite game, and the feeling I got playing them was unmatched. The first time I played GTA 5, however, I felt nothing. I didn't quite understand why this was. A few years later, however, I finally understand why. The game is soulless. It's empty, unexciting, uninspired. Honestly, it's terrible. I remember the initial response from my peers. Everyone was talking about how it's the best GTA, how it had the biggest map, how it had the interesting and funny characters. I remember the memes started to spread across the internet, like GTA 5 was some sort of cultural reset in gaming. I never saw any of this. I just saw a bland and uninspired game. During my first playthrough, my feelings towards the game just got worse. I really started to understand how Rockstar missed the mark on this game. I was truly disappointed, and to this day, I look back at GTA 5 with disgust. Just so I can organize my thoughts, I'm going to break this down into chapters. So let's go. Chapter 1. The missions in this game are horrible. They are tedious, boring, and unfulfilling. I remember operating a submarine and constantly being prompted to move the submarine up. No, move it back down. No, move it back up. No, move the submarine this way. The whole time I'm thinking, why am I in a submarine? This is GTA. What submarines have to do with this? I miss the old GTA missions, like in Liberty City Stories, where the first mission is to go to a drug dealer and take him to his turf. Or the second mission, when you have to go and beat up some rival drug dealers who are stealing your turf. These are the missions that made GTA so great. Missions that made you feel icky, like you aren't doing the wrong thing, but you're also not doing the right thing. Those grimy underground crime missions made GTA what it is. And then fast forward to GTA 5 and it's like, pick up a bicycle to go biking with your son. Or go to the movie awards to promote your movie. Like what? Why did GTA turn into this? To be fair, I did enjoy some missions. Mainly Trevor's missions, where he goes and terrorizes the Lost MC, or when he goes and set a meth house on fire. That was cool, but the majority of the game is tedious, meaningless missions and leaves you feeling unsatisfied and empty. I remember feeling so satisfied in San Andreas when I got on a harvest truck and started running over hillbillies. Those were the best times in GTA. But unfortunately, that was lost in GTA 5. And don't even get me started on the heists. When I first heard about the heists, I was mildly excited. But playing the heists ended up being the worst, some of the most tedious missions I've played in the game. Like, go get Michael the right suit. No, not that suit. You need to go pick up a specific suit. Okay, go and get Michael the right car. No, not that car. The one we tell you to. Okay, now organize the heist. Decide your driver. Do you want to pay your driver a lot of money or little money? Like any of that mattered. Then when the heist finally takes place, it's constantly switching over to Trevor. Okay, switch back to Michael. Switch to Franklin. Switch to Michael. Switch to Michael. Switch to Franklin. Switch to Trevor. Like, why? Why can't I just experience the heist as one character for like 10 minutes? On a side note, I played through GTA 5 like 7 times, and I can confirm I have no idea what the game's about. You start off with Michael's family bitching at him, Franklin doing random tedious tasks, Trevor working in the meth business, then it evolves to the FIB always yelling at Michael, Trevor following whatever Michael says, and Franklin following whatever he's told like a pile of rocks. Then at the end you kill everyone and boom, the game's over. Like what the fuck? There's no character development or milestones that make the game memorable. It's just a bunch of missions, then kill everybody and it's over. The missions really brought down the GTA series to the lowest I've ever seen. Okay, let's go to chapter 2. Rockstar always had the best written characters. They were always amazing. Some of the characters I really admired were Ryder from San Andreas. He reminded me of a lot of guys in high school, always smoking, relaxing, having an attitude. Or John Marston. He was a badass that was helpful and friendly, but always had a scary side he only showed when he needed to. Or Jimmy Hopkins. He was a tough kid in a tough situation, but he always had a good heart no matter what he did. Or Yusuf from Ballad of Gay Tony. I mean, he was hilarious, always happy, dancing around his penthouse, saying crazy things. Those characters make GTA great. You end up remembering them forever. There was also characters that messed with your head a bit, like Eddie Lowe from GTA 4. That's a perfectly well-written character. He seems okay at first, and the more he unravels, the more uneasy you feel. I genuinely feel bad when I interacted with him. Now that's amazing writing. Also Seth from Red Dead Redemption. Phenomenal writing. He made you feel gross and made you just want to get the missions over with. My point is, Rockstar's characters were always the best. But then comes GTA 5 and there's nothing. Lester is fucking annoying with that stupid lisp and he just has no depth. The second you meet him, you already have him figured out. Lamar is stupid as well. He acts like an absolute clown that you would never encounter in real life. Same thing with Lamar. Once you see him in one cutscene, you already have him figured out. There's no twists or turns down the road for these characters. They are poorly written and bland. Same thing with Trevor's associates. Completely uninspired and boring. And don't even get me started on Michael's family. His wife and kids are completely one-dimensional and lack zero depth. Once again, this is a new low for GTA and it was sad to see. Now let's go over to the main lineup. Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. It hurts me to say their names. Franklin is by far the worst. He's a complete yes man. His IQ has to be double digits. I mean, there's nothing to him. People just bark orders at him and he does what they say. Well, alright man. He's constantly being slapped around by everyone, including his aunt. He has zero redeemable qualities and lacks any depth. Playing as Franklin was by far the worst. Now let's go over to Trevor. Once again, huge disappointment. Before the game came out, it made it seem like Trevor was this crazy psychopath that needs to be locked in a psych ward. But actually, Trevor was far from it. He just tries so hard to be edgy and crazy, but when it comes off, is seen as tacky. I always cringed when I would play as Trevor and he would blurt out something stupid like, "I will eat you." Like, it's so stupid. He reminds me of that one kid in middle school that tries to be edgy for attention, but once everyone figures it out he's doing it for attention, they stop caring. It was a huge letdown. I would argue Billy from The Lost and Damned is a million times more twisted than Trevor. I remember when Billy hit that poor bike shop owner with a pipe. I was terrified. That made me fear Billy and really see how twisted of a man he is. I felt none of that with Trevor. It's almost laughable how Trevor would try to appear like a twisted, dangerous guy, but he just comes off as a regular dude. Anyway, Trevor was poorly written character. And lastly, Michael. I dislike Michael the least. He has the most depth out of everyone. At least he was a guy that used to be a hardcore criminal and now he's experiencing a midlife crisis. That was an okay playthrough. If I had it my way, They should have cut the other two characters and just let you play as Michael, which leads me to my next point. The 3 main character playthrough was the stupidest idea ever. From the start, I felt like it would ruin the game, and my god, it certainly did. I mean, you can never feel invested in any character or experience it because every time you get a feel for it, it prompts you to go to the next character. Then boom, 2-3 missions later, it prompts you to go to the next character. And during the missions is where it really gets bad. It would be like switch to Franklin to drive the helicopter. Okay, switch to Trevor to take 1 sniper shot. Okay, switch to Michael to hack the computers. It ends up being a huge clusterfuck, and it makes the game very unfulfilling. I loved playing as Johnny in The Lost and Damned. I really got into it, and I could understand the underworld of the biker gangs from his perspective. Or playing as Arthur Morgan and understanding the outlaw lifestyle from his perspective. It gets you so invested in the game and makes for a perfect experience. But Rockstar sabotaged that with trying to cram 3 different stories into 1 fucking playthrough. Lastly, the concept of Michael, Trevor, and Franklin doing missions together makes no sense. They all have very different backgrounds and personalities, and they'd never hang out in real life. But Rockstar makes it seem like they're the Avengers. Like, no, it's not a believable story. I'm sorry. I don't care how much backstory they tried to add to make it more believable. It ended up looking tacky and stupid. The vibe is one of the most important elements in video games. When it comes to Rockstar games, they do an amazing job. When you play Bully, the vibe really makes you feel like you're a student in a rough boarding school. When you play The Warriors, you really feel like a gang member in the grimy streets of New York City, with graffiti everywhere and drug dealers everywhere. When you play Red Dead, well, the vibe speaks for itself. You feel like an outlaw. I could go on forever, but you get the point. GTA 3 had you play as a character that was caught up in a dark and grimy underbelly of Liberty City. Vice City did the whole 80s Scarface vibe, with nightclubs, narcotics, babes in bikinis. San Andreas captured Los Angeles in the 90s with Tupac and NWA blasting on the radio, exposing LA police corruption that was really happening at the time. GTA 3 was very similar to GTA 4. Lost and Damned gave you the opportunity to experience being in a biker gang. It was beautiful. Rockstar always does an amazing job with the vibe. But boom! What is GTA 5? I'm still curious. There's nothing that builds the atmosphere. It's just a big empty word. Rockstar totally sabotaged this aspect of the game, which really ruined the game. I mean, I really wish they chose one character and built the vibe around it. Like if they took Trevor and made the whole game about the meth business, that would be amazing. That would be 10 million trillion times better than what we have now. But no, they had to have 3 different stories, which ruined any kind of vibe being curated. Gameplay. The gameplay in GTA 5 is generally atrocious. It felt lifeless and empty. The driving is horrible. I remember being a fan of the Midnight Club series, and Midnight Club always made you feel like you're actually driving a car. When I first played GTA 4, I was happy they used similar driving to Midnight Club. I mean, it makes sense. If you can master the driving in a racing game, might as well replicate that into the other games, right? But boom, Rockstar managed to ruin that too. I hate driving in GTA 5. I try to drive the car in weird ways to make the driving fun, but no. It's so bad. The worst of the worst. The combat, however, is terrible. I mean, even GTA 3 had beautiful combat. It's scary to think a game that came out in 2001 still managed to have better combat than a game that came out in 2013. I mean, even Manhunt had better combat than GTA 5, and Manhunt, they made the combat so bad so you can focus on the stealth kills. GTA San Andreas had the best combat, in my opinion. You can get stronger in the gym, which made you have more powerful punches. You could also learn boxing in the gym, which made you have more moves. But as far as GTA 5 goes, you literally click the attack button and slap an NPC and they die instantly. Listen, Red Dead Redemption had an atrocious fistfight system, but at least there was fistfights. You could punch a guy and he would punch you and you would punch him, and the punches, he'd punch you more and you punch him more, and then someone fucking dies, okay? That's a fist fight. Then someone informs the mother of the guy who got killed that in the fist fight that she needs to arrange a funeral, but she doesn't have any fucking money. How's she going to arrange a funeral with no fucking money? But all that died in GTA 5. Like, why did they lower the standards so low? I also love the aspect in GTA 4. When you knock someone out, they don't die. I mean, they'll move around on the ground, but they're not dead. This made GTA 4 very fun because you had the option just to leave them or take them out with a bullet to the head. It was truly beautiful. It was phenomenal. It made me feel warm inside, okay? The gunfights were ruined as well. GTA 4 had the best shooting. It felt realistic. It felt dangerous. I would always get a rush out of having a gunfight. Then GTA 5 came along and it felt like nothing. You shoot a bunch of people, hear a bunch of dull gunshots, and boom, you won. You won. You're the winner. You won the whole game. Good job, baby. Not fulfilling, not anything. Just empty and bland. I saved this one for last because it's easily the worst part of the game. I remember seeing a picture of a size comparison of GTA 5 and GTA 4, a comparison of the map. Everything and everyone in the comments were talking about how amazing of a job Rockstar did and how GTA 5, the map's going to be the greatest map of all time. But when the game came out, wow, what a piece of shit. The best way I can describe it is like a soccer field. If you see a soccer field, you might be amazed how big it is and how beautiful the grass is. But after 20 seconds, you realize the whole field is the same. There's no depth to it. That's exactly the map in GTA 5. It's big, but there's nothing to do. It's literally just a city beside mountains. Nothing, just nothing. It's empty, it's bland. You can only rob the gas stations so many times before it becomes repetitive. I mean, look at games like Bully. The map's on the smaller side, but wow, that map felt huge. There's so many different areas, textures, hidden pockets you can explore. You can go underneath the school, in a basement. You can go into the school gym, go into the men's locker room, go into the women's locker room, smash a window in the locker room. The possibilities are endless. Or take the Warriors. You can go into a bong shop, steal a bong, beat the shit out of the owner with the bong. It's so beautiful. Those maps felt huge and engaging. GTA 5, on the other hand, there's nothing to do. I remember when my friend showed me the mountain with the cannibals. You can engage with them, and I was amazed. I was actually amazed a game so bland and empty was capable of having a hidden spot you had to find on your own. That's how low my expectations of GTA 5 came to be. It's really sad considering this was supposed to be the best installment in the series. To conclude, GTA 5 was a huge success for Rockstar. I mean, it's one of the best-selling games of all time, but commercial success doesn't directly correlate to if a game is good or not. A lot of people bought GTA 5 because of the past entries being so amazing. But I mean, that's why I bought it. I also think people were blinded by the hype of GTA 5 and didn't think twice if it's actually a genuinely good game. Me personally, not feeling that adrenaline on my first playthrough really made me want to ask myself why that was. I'm still a huge fan of Rockstar, and I have high hopes for the next installment of GTA 6.